Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Silent Core and welcome back to my weekly GTA 5 countdown series. So last week I took you guys through the top 10 DLC updates to hit GTA 5 and today we're going to be going through the top 10 must-own vehicles in GTA Online. If you guys are new around here, these videos do take quite a while to make, so I'd really appreciate if you can take a few seconds to leave it a like and also subscribe if you're new. It really helps out my channel. So without further ado, let's get into that first must-own vehicle. So this one is something that you might not have expected to hear in this list, but hear me out in this one. So the dinghy is not only the third fastest boat in the game, but it actually spawns right beside you if you're a CEO or VIP. If you haven't already bought one, it'll cost you 5,000 to spawn it next to you, but if you've already purchased it, it's actually a free spawn, so anytime you want, anywhere you want in the water, you can spawn this right next to you for free. So even if you're stranded way out in the middle of the ocean for whatever reason, a dinghy will always find its way to you. This one actually came as part of the heist update and you can purchase it from Dock Tees after completing the Humane Labs raid heist, so it's not a bad investment. Next up at the number 9 spot, this is also another alternative option before we get into the super serious stuff. This one is only $800 from Pedal and Metal, and it's a BMX. Now if you're the kind of player that only uses supercars, seriously try playing with a BMX in free roam, especially with a few friends or a crew. It is a lot of fun. On a BMX you can just totally get a different pace of the game and a totally different perspective of GTA 5. Especially if you like tricks, I quite often watch Evolve Stunting for inspiration and just try bunny hopping off stuff. But don't forget guys, this is GTA Online. At the number 8 spot is the DINGHY. Now this is actually the fastest car in the sports class category, so it's definitely always handy to have an DINGHY that's fully upgraded just in case you get into a sports class race and you know you're going to be in one of the strongest positions in that race. In my opinion, I think this car also looks great, and the best thing about this car is it's absolutely free. There's just no reason not to get one of these. It's absolutely free to buy from the website and the upgrades are super cheap too. At the number 7 spot is the PFISTER 811. Now this one was added as part of the Further Adventures in Finance and Felony update, and it is the fastest land vehicle in the game in terms of top speed. Now the reason it's not further up my list, and you guys will know if you've used this, it does seem to suffer with traction, especially going around the corners, and as you'll know most races in GTA Online do have a lot of corners in it, making this not the most preferable option unless you're doing like a drag race with a straight line. As you'll see in the gameplay, when I'm going around the corners, the back end of my car seems to get quite slidey. It seems to slide out going around a lot of the corners, and it really can slow you down and put you behind in the race. But if you're doing something like a long drag race or an endurance race, you might want to keep this one in mind. You can pick up the 811 from Legendary Motorsport for 1.1 million. At the number 6 spot is the INSURGENT. I've included this in my list just because I believe it's one of the best free roam vehicles that you can use in GTA Online. The INSURGENT was added with the heist update, and you'll have to actually complete the Humane Labs raid heist to purchase this from War Stock and Cash and Carry for about 675k. This thing is basically a light armoured vehicle and is nearly as durable as the tank. According to the wiki page, the INSURGENT can survive 3 direct hits from a tank, around 4 BUZZARD rockets, 3 RPG shots, and around 5 sticky bombs or 20 to 25 seconds of constant minigun fire aimed directly at the engines. So this thing is pretty durable, especially if you're playing in a lobby with a lot of hostile people. This thing has some great armor and it's a great vehicle to get out of the way. A good trick when you're using this vehicle is to duck by holding A on your controller, and it actually makes you a really hard target to shoot when you're in this vehicle. I think my favourite thing about the INSURGENT just has to be its power to smash through other vehicles. You know, if someone's in your way, they won't be for very long if you're in an INSURGENT. Next up is the HYDRA. It was a military fighter jet that was in San Andreas and it was brought back with the heist update. You can purchase this one from War Stock Cash and Carry for a very significant 3 million. However, I do think it's worth that big investment. The HYDRA is actually the fastest vehicle in the whole game. When you're flying the HYDRA, it also has 2 different flying modes, so you can change that by pressing right on the D-pad when you're on console, and that switches you between vertical and hover mode, so it's super useful if you just want to hover and take aim at someone on the ground, and then you can switch it to quickly make an escape. This thing's also equipped with 3 different weapon options, so you have the machine cannons that fire explosive rounds, you have a non-lock and a lock missiles. The HYDRA does take a little bit of getting used to fly efficiently. I actually found the controls a little bit weird at first, however once you get used to it, it is absolutely awesome for taking out people on the ground, and you can actually hold down pretty much a small free roam lobby by yourself in this thing. Moving on to the number 4 spot is the X80 Proto, and this is currently the best racing vehicle that you can use in GTA Online. Now previously it was the RE7B, however there was a small nerf made to that, giving the X80 a slightly faster lap time, ever so slightly, over the RE7B. There's a very well known racer known as BUZZARD, and I'll link his channel down in the description. He does some absolutely awesome comparisons of vehicles, going around a track and finds their fastest lap times to find the fastest vehicle, and this was his fastest vehicle that he found. So the X80 actually came as part of the further adventures in Finance and Felony DLC, and I seem to always find myself using this car for any types of GTA races. It has absolutely awesome handling, it's got great traction, it's got rapid acceleration, and it's just generally my top pick for all sorts of races. This vehicle does however come with a bit of a price tag. It currently costs 2.7 million from Legendary Motorsport. So usually in my countdowns I have a bonus clip, or this week it's going to be the bonus vehicle, and that is the SHOTARO. So this is commonly known as the Tron bike, which was just recently added as a continuation of the Bikers DLC. This vehicle can be purchased for just over $2.2 million, so it is a big investment. Now the reason I included the SHOTARO into my countdown as a bonus vehicle and not on the actual countdown list is because you don't actually need this one. It is not a must-own vehicle. If you have some money to throw away, this could be a good way to spend it, but it's definitely not an essential. BUZZARD actually did a great comparison with this vehicle and found it's actually only a fraction of a second slower than the second best fastest bike. So I'd only recommend buying this vehicle if you do like the look of it. The price tag is not worth just getting a fraction of a second speed difference. So let's continue with the top 10 countdown. At the number 3 spot is the HAKUCHOU Drag. Now this vehicle came as part of the Bikers update and can be purchased for just under 1 million from Legendary Motorsport. Now fully upgraded, this thing can reach 121.5 miles per hour when wheeling, and this makes it the fastest motorbike when you're going in a straight line. Now as mentioned in the bonus vehicle, the SHOTARO or the Tron bike is the only vehicle that is faster than this bike in a racing situation, so when going around corners. However, it's only faster by 1/10 of a second, which in my opinion isn't really going to be much of a difference to your race. There's so many other factors in a race that can slow you down by a lot more than that. So in my opinion, that makes the HAKUCHOU Drag an absolute must-own vehicle, and it's actually less than half price of the SHOTARO. At the number 2 spot is the Armoured KARUMA. Now this was actually a really tough choice between number 1 and number 2 positions, because they're both such useful vehicles. So the armoured version of the KARUMA was added with the heist update, and you actually have to complete the Fleece a Job heist to be able to purchase this one from Southern and Andreas Super Autos for 525k. And I can't stress enough how much of an absolutely awesome vehicle this really is. The windows can't be shot out, giving you great protection against gunfire, and the extra armor doesn't even seem to reduce your performance much either from the original KARUMA. So it's still very fast, it's very nimble, and it can be fully upgraded without interfering much with your performance. If you're a solo player in GT Online, you'll probably find this even more useful. When you're in this vehicle, you can pretty much complete whole gang attacks easily by yourself without even leaving your vehicle, and also most contact missions solo too. The only drawbacks of this vehicle is your very limited view when you're playing in first person, so you only have like a tiny slit to shoot through if you're playing in first person, so your view is quite blocked off by this window. You're also limited to only micro SMGs or handguns when you're inside, and the vehicle is actually extremely weak to explosives, so a well placed sticky bomb in a free roam lobby and bye bye vehicle. And that leaves us with the number 1 must own vehicle in GTA 5, and it is the BUZZARD Attack Chopper. So you can pick up this beast from Warstock Cash and Carry for 1.75 million, and it's armed with missiles that you can lock on and also machine guns, and it can carry up to 3 other passengers as well. Similar to the Armoured KARUMA, the BUZZARD is also awesome if you're a solo player, however it is great with the crew as well. Now the reason I put this at number 1 is just for general transportation, and it's also the usefulness for VIP work and also grinding crates as a CEO. Once you've bought this vehicle, there's a few different ways you can go about getting it spawned to you. So first of all, you can call Pegasus and have it spawned to the nearest helipad to your position. However, if you are a CEO, you can actually have this spawned right next to you for free. So pretty much wherever you are in the game, you can have this instantly spawn next to you using your CEO menu, so it's a super useful vehicle to have. It can always get you transportation wherever you might be. So that was my top 10 must-have vehicles in GTA Online. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with my order, or if there's any other vehicles you think I should have made this list or should have made number 1. I think a lot of us play this game quite differently for different reasons as well, so I think we're all bound to have a different sort of list. I'm interested in what you guys have as your favourite vehicles. If you guys missed the last few countdowns, they will be linked on screen, such as the top 10 DLC updates in GTA Online history. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Flipping cars, I did the scene. Flipping high shit with the team. You know me, got the antidote. I spit it sick up in Los Santos. Dodging missiles, dodging bullets. Coming at me now, tell me to pull it. I'm